All right, one last question.
Pretty easy question, or it's really hard.
So, who is Jake Anderson?
All right. Jake Anderson is
Yeah, there have been times that I've felt lost, and I think there's some subtleties, and
we were not there. We were home, so we got a phone call from the hospital.
Right.
And
it was right after we were just taking Zach, his brother's homecoming pictures, and we were coming home to have a barbecue at our house, and we got this call, and I answered because it was 715, and I thought, oh, I better answer. They said it was a trauma unit and that Jake was injured, and I kind of lost my marbles. I knew how to take the phone.
Like right away, immediately, when we were in the Madison hospital for the first couple, I think it was a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months, I don't even remember, but when we were there, yeah, I mean, it was hard to see the positives in anything, because every day it was like, he's getting surgery A and we're hoping for outcome B, but we don't know the unquestioned, like the variable C has to take effect, and we don't know what that means. So it was just like, where will he be able to walk again? Will he not be able to walk again? What is happening, basically, was where my mind was at for those first few weeks.
Jandy Strong is a mantra that was started shortly after my injury, and really represented how my situation was going to be handled and what attitude I would approach it with, and turned into a collection of friends, family, and supporters that does an annual event to raise money for spinal cord injury research and advocacy. I always had this competitive angst to really get out there and not only be cheering from the sideline, but to participate alongside my friends and supporters.
After the first race, he said next year I want it to be even bigger, and one year I am going to participate. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm not sure how you're going to do that.
this summer, Jake asked me this past summer asked me if I wanted to do the bike with him, and of course that's quite an honor. So from the second he asked me to do the race, it was, we weren't just going to do the race, it was, we're going to train and we're going to push the limits. So
really what we wanted to do was beat that time, and the first year's time was 1 hour and 57 minutes. And lining up for that race day, things were looking pretty good.
Set up the tent, then we get Jake under the tent, and then we're just putting the bike together, and it's like again, it's like a high, we're just so jacked up. Got to the starting line, it seemed like the race started like that, and we kind of got off to a quick start, and then we were following what was a cop car, and we turned, and I was like, this kind of seems weird, and we probably get like a couple blocks away, and this is a race with thousands of people in it, and I look behind us, I don't see anybody. And we're like flagging down officials, and no one can really tell us like whether we're on the correct path or not. So we're kind of frustrated, freaking out. And I'm feeling horrible because, you know, I feel like I screwed up on Jake's part. And sure enough, we find someone who's like, oh yeah, you got brought down the wrong path. Like, you got to go this way and then get back into the race. So,
you know, we were just like, how could this happen? Everything seemed to be lining up to go well and to really compete with last year's time. And that feeling of helplessness, I guess, in being let off course was tough. I kind of draw parallels between that and my life. After a total of 3 months in the hospital in Madison, Wisconsin, and then here at Courage County Rehabilitation, you know, they had a full schedule for me every day, and you know, constant visitors and family members around, and it was almost just like this blur that went so fast, and tried to put myself in a position where I could adjust to a new normal, and ultimately ended up coming back home, and that was different. You know, having this home and a situation that I was so familiar with in one way, and sort of approaching that in a new light, or oftentimes darkness, you know.
He had a really low was after he got out of the hospital, got back home, he had a wound. And the wound wasn't getting better, it was actually getting worse. So he's home, he's finally home, and now he has to lay in bed for the majority of the day. And that was really, really hard. And it starts to make you think like, well, what am I ever gonna be able to do? And you don't quite know where you're gonna go. So.
there was communication between us two, you know, first of all about how bummed we were at the current situation, but then once we saw space in front of us, it kind of just seemed like we were just chasing the finish line.
After the frustration, we hit Lakeshore Drive, and you know, with the lake on the right and runners more dispersed, we just felt more free, and I just had some time to reflect, and what I thought about was you know, how we took a wrong turn and how I had taken a mistaken wrong turn in my life. And it was a slow and bumpy recovery, and there were aspects of it that were frustrating and didn't go the way that I had envisioned. You know, finishing up my college years, certainly different than what I had set out thinking it was going to be like. But just looking around and seeing the support that we had there, and thinking about the support that I had had throughout my journey, really gave me that second wind and some extra motivation to keep going. And once we were on that path, you know, we gave it everything we had, and we started to sneak up on that time, and we saw that we were actually going to be competing with last year's time. As we approached the last couple miles, we started to realize, like, we can still do this. And I think that even gave us the little bit of fire that we needed at the end. And we powered through and ended up finishing just under an hour and a half with a final time of 1:29. And it was a relief, but it was also just like such a testament to what that event is all about.
I mean, same feeling every single year, crossing that finish line, seeing your friends and family who, you know, have supported Jake and supported this entire team and grow every single year. I mean, there's pictures of us at the tent afterwards. And every year you look at the picture, every year you look at the GoFundMe, it just continues to grow. And so it's really a testament to, you know, Jake's family, and then also just the team that he's put around him.
We talk about motivations, and that's one of my big ones as well, is just these people who see what I'm doing and can get something from it, and then you know, go out there and try to make a change in their own way, and I take that, and I think, you know, I kind of get that same motivation from those people.
After in-person rehab, or when he was staying in the hospital, he was doing outpatient rehab, and then he also would see a psychologist. And at one point he had me come in and he said, well, you've been in, Dad's been in, but Abby and Zach haven't, and I want to do a family session. And so we get there, and the psychologist says, okay, Jake, tell your family why you're here. And he said, well, I'm here because I want to talk to Abby and Zach, who are not getting quality time with their parents, and how do you feel, and what can we do to make sure you feel okay? And I mean, I just lost it, because he was there because he was worried about his brother and his sister. Anytime people tell us, you guys are amazing parents, I'm always like, I couldn't do it without Jake.
For a second there, I may have thought like, oh my God, my role model is like, has been taken away from me, and I have to be the one supporting him. And I quickly realized like that was not the case. He's still, I mean, as much as I try to help him, he still teaches me more than I could ever teach him in a day. And I don't know, he just never stopped being my big brother, which is good. So
Who is Jake Anderson?
My name is Jake. People call me Jandy, and I'm strong. I'm strong in that whatever I do, I give it everything that I've got. I'm strong in my love, respect, and gratitude for others. And most of all, I'm strong in my resolve, my ability to face challenges head on and turn any obstacle into an opportunity. I credit this to the people who raised me, my family, who I love so much, to my friends, my coaches, teachers, and mentors that I had growing up, and to this magnificent group we know as Team Jandy Strong.
One thing I always remember after Jake's incident originally was I kind of came to this realization that, yeah, you know, Jake was a quadriplegic and is paralyzed now, but, you know, Jake never hurt his brain or hurt his heart. You know, he's still the same person.
These people support me and have carried me through all the things that I've been through and helping me reach all of my goals.
You know, people don't know the path that they're going to be on and how their life's going to evolve. Everybody's is different. And with Jake's accident and his situation that he's in now, he's always remained kind of that driven, motivated, goal setter, very compassionate, kind, helpful, that he always was, and he still is today.
I think one quote and one thing that I try to live by that really sums this up is, when I think about my situation, it is what it is, but it will be what I make it.